What's a YouTube day here from Zephyr Wargames, bringing you an ABC deck profile. Now this deck can certainly still compete, especially with the introduction of Destrudo. It's incredibly powerful, it's got some very, very nice combos, and it can just push out, you know, Buster Dragon is always going to be a danger. The best thing about Buster as well is the tag out effect. When you tag it out, you give yourself back free materials that go straight into a decode talker, and then you bring back a Buster Dragon the next turn. So it's just mind-blown kind of power. But without further ado, we're going to take you through the deck profile and kind of show you what we play. So we start off with triple A, very straightforward on the kind of lineup with here, triple A, triple B, and then double C. Now the reason we only play double C is it's probably the most bricky of the lot. You can play it at 3, there's no real issues playing it at 3, but in my personal opinion, having it at 2 is a right number, purely because I don't really want to be seeing it in my opening hand. And obviously because it's all searchable, when I really need to, I'll search it out. Otherwise, you know, I'm quite happy with the way it is. We play 2 Destrudo. Now, obviously, we dump this with Dragon's Shrine, Dragon's Ravine, and obviously it helps with Dragon's Ravine and Dragon's Shrine. We can help kind of get some of these into the graveyard more with Ravine than with Shrine. We then obviously play the 1 Supreme King Dragon Darkworm. Again, this is part of the combo because either you pitch this from the hand if you open up to it, or you can send it to graveyard if you've already got a Destrudo in hand, bring it back, and straight away you've got a level 4, and then you've got the Destrudo play there, and that's without using your normal summon. And that goes straight into Ancient Fairy Dragon. You can go into Proxy Dragon. You can then obviously normal summon your A, B, or C, whatever one you want. Then if you've got a Union Hanger in play, you equip the next one, you link those 3 up into Decode, and you kind of just move your plays forward that way. Next up, we play a heavy hand trap lineup at the moment. Triple Ghost Ogre, triple Ash Blossom, and single Maxi. These are obviously the most important and powerful hand traps in the game right now. You can put Drawn Lockbirds in if you want. I just think Ghost Ogre has more consistency, especially when you're going against your opponent, and this build is kind of made to cover the majority of scenarios. And then finally we play the 1 Go Through. Now the reason we play Go Through in this deck is because you have ways of getting rid of it. If you open up to it, you're in an incredibly powerful start already because you just dump this straight away, you're into a decode. But on top of that, obviously it can drag out some of your opponent hand traps as well. So it's not the end of the world. But then if you do have this late game when you've got a full board already, you can pitch it off of Buster, you can pitch it off of Ravine, you can pitch it off of Twin Twisters. So there's a lot of pitch in this deck, which means he's not as dead. Whereas if you just put it into a normal, just any other deck, unless you're playing like a lore or other ways to use it and abuse it, he's not really that helpful. So definitely in ABCs you do have the ability to kind of get rid of him and use him as and when you please. Spells, again, pretty straightforward. Most important field spell in the deck, so triple Union Hanger. We play double Dragon's Ravine because obviously we want to see this as well, and we play that off of with our Terraformings, and then of course we can activate a Union Hanger, do everything we need with the Union Hanger, play the Ravine, do everything we need with the Ravine, and then obviously we get a Union Hanger ready for the next turn. And then obviously we play the triple Terraform to search either of them out, and the 1 set rotation. Now the set rotation works both well for, you know, main decking and side decking because you can put like Gateway of Chaos in your deck, and then you can use this to kind of stall out your opponent's back row themselves, their field spell themselves. But of course, because we play 2 field spells, you can give your opponent a Ravine, or you can give you give them a Union Hanger, stuff like that, and you get to use what you want the most. And obviously with set rotation, again, if it becomes a dead card, you just pitch it straight out. Double Twin Twister, because, you know, sometimes pitching with Twin Twister, if you go second, you pitch your pieces that you need to the graveyard, clear off your opponent's back row, and then off you go, and that stops your opponent with like D barriers in end phases, or like strikes and warnings that they're going to want to hit your Buster with. Double Desires, I never really play 3 in a deck because 9 times out of 10 when I play 3 I do activate Desires and then draw into it. When you play 2, when you do open it, it's a lot more consistent to get rid of your other Desires, which I kind of prefer to do. But those extra 2 cards can absolutely change the game for you, and you know, later games, early games, it can actually make your board. So the best thing with like ABCs is they're one of the decks that once they've built their board, if your opponent can't get past it, you've won game. And we've got the 1 Raigeki, the 1 Dragon Shrine, and the 1 Foolish Burial. Obviously, Raigeki clear boards, Dragon Shrine for your Destrudo and your Darkworm plays, and your Foolish Burial again can be for your Destrudo, your Darkworm, but of course it can also send one of the pieces as well, should you be missing one. Then for the traps, I played triple evenly matched in the main. You can side this out, it's entirely up to you. What I always say is, you've got more chance and more probability of going second in a game of Yu-Gi-Oh than you do going first. So if I win the dice roll, I can choose to go second. If I lose a dice roll, the chances are my opponent is going to go first. So evenly matched gives me that one card in my main deck that maybe not many people expect to be mained, that I can just go bang and reset the stakes back into my favour, especially if my opponent's like overcommitted or they've put everything on the board that they need to. Evenly matched can balance it back out. The one strike and the one warning. Now, of course, if you don't want to play your evenly match, you could play 2 more strikes and a scolding, or you can play a scolding and less set cards, so your scolding is more live. It's really up to you on what kind of ratio you like to play with the traps. It is entirely open. There are some builds that don't play traps at all. Again, that's entirely up to you. You can play stuff like Soul Charge, which again is really, really powerful in the Link format. The issue is when you're mixing it with Destrudo, all you're really going to be doing when you go to the Ancient Fairy combo is gaining back 1,000. So you're already down to 5k just by getting your one combo. Yes, it does solidify your board. And then, of course, you can then do Soul Charge to help extend your plays and finish with like 2 busters, 1 busters, whatever you need. But, you know, I personally don't like that way it works. Triple ABC Buster, quite straightforward on this. You go through them quite quickly, you can recycle them, but they are incredibly powerful, so you play triple of that. Double Proxy, obviously you use these as part of every combo, your Ancient Fairy combo, your Gofu combo, just in general to kind of get, if you've got 2 pieces, rather than overlaying them in XYZ and having one material like locked up, you can go into Proxy Dragon. For our level 3s or our Link 3s, I play the 1 Ningrusu. Because you do get Proxy Dragon out quite easily, there might be the odd chance that you want to mate Ningrusu just to clear off any of your dead cards or anything like that and do a 1-for-1 kind of send, which is really, really powerful. But it's entirely up to you. You don't have to play Ningrusu, it's just a little touch that I like playing. Tri-Gate Wizard, incredibly powerful card, you know. Works really, really well in the deck and can kind of do quite a lot of damage. If you kind of set up your board, especially kind of if you link it with stuff like Soul Charge or anything like that, it can help extend plays. And you know, his effects are busted as hell when you get him out and use him properly. He can be very, very powerful and kind of make it work that way the best. Next up, we play the 1 Deco Talker. Again, you know, this part of it's your main kind of combo play. You will 9 times out of 10 go into him and use him that way. So, you know, you kind of have to play him. I like playing the 1 Akeshic Magician. I just think it's a really, really cool card. I put it in most of my decks that have the same type because basically, like I said before, you make it, you can bounce it. If you side in Kaijus, you bounce it and circle around. But then also, the most important thing is it opens up this zone down here. So, for example, instead of going into Proxy Dragon with some of your plays, if you've got like 2 of the pieces on board, you can go into an Akeshic Magician, use her effect to bounce whatever's in front of her or not worry at all. Then you link with this zone, you can make Buster Dragon down here. Then if you get another one out, you turn this into Decode and then you've unlocked 3 extra deck spaces. So that's why I play Akeshic Magician. I think it's a really, really cool card. Then on the next one, you've got kind of like a 1 of 3 option. It's entirely up to you on what you've got and what you have available to you. But you know, it's down to personal preference. And depending on what mood you're in that day as well, this can really, really change. So for our Link 4s, you can either play Borolo Dragon, or Firewall, or Topological Bomber Dragon. Now, each of them have their pros and cons. Obviously, Firewall is crazy expensive at this moment in time, and you very rarely use and abuse its effect the way you should in this deck, but it can be very, very helpful. Topological Bomber Dragon is really, really cheap, and I like the way it kind of resolves, because if you don't obviously put a Buster Dragon into one of these zones, you kind of have to have the Buster Dragon already, then make this guy. But if you tag out Buster Dragon and then you put your A, B, and C here, it can nuke your opponent's board. So it's a nice little loop round that can work. It's not foolproof, but it's just an option for you to try. And then, of course, Borolo Dragon, because it is, again, incredibly powerful, and because it requires 3+ effect monsters, you know, you can bump it up with a Akeshic Magician and 2 more of your materials, go into Akeshic, 2 more, go into Borolo Dragon, and then you've opened up 2 more spots, plus you've got a Buster ready to come back. It's kind of, you know, up to you on what you want to circle around. Firewall can be very, very good for the pure fact that, you know, when a card is sent to the graveyard, you get to special summon a monster from your hand, so it kind of helps consistently keep you going. But I think Borreload probably has the most consistency in the deck. But regardless, these three you don't have to play because Link 4s aren't as consistently made in this deck. But just being able to have one of those at your disposal when the time comes can kind of change the game for you. We then obviously play the Synchro Engine of Black Rose Dragon to nuke the board if you need to reset, and Ancient Fairy Dragon, which is the majority of the combo, because when you use this, go into a Proxy Dragon, but you've already gained 1,000 life points, you special summon the level 4 or lower from your hand, and you kind of get to circle around your plays that way, and that then, in turn, ends your board with like a Decode Talker plus a Buster Dragon in like one turn. And then the rank 4s, we play the 1 Tornado Dragon, the 1 Diamond Dire. You can mix between the two of these. You can put a Utopia package in if you want. You know, it's just entirely up to you. And then, of course, the 1 number 41 Baguska is the one that I personally say you have to have. So staple-wise, in the extra deck, it's definitely the 3 ABCs. You definitely want at least 1 Proxy Dragon, at least a Decode, and then Ancient Fairy and your Baguska. The rest is entirely down to you on how you want to play it, but I would say you must have those cards in there, because I think Baguska, if you do end up having a slow turn, can be the game changer. Baguska can actually win you a game because you've stalled out your opponent for long enough for the first turn, especially if they're playing spirals, and then you can use Baguska to link up into any of these monsters and obviously help extend your plays and go into ABC Buster, detach, clear off your opponent's board, swing it for 3k, and you know, the plays just keep on going from there. Anyway, I hope this has given you a couple of ideas on the ABC deck. I have had quite a few requests for the ABC Invoke deck, so I will be getting that up for you guys as well, do not worry. I'm just trying to get the ratios kind of right and make sure that I give it the right representation. So, again, I hope this has given you a couple of ideas. I hope this helps. I hope it's kind of allows you to get your mind around everything. But thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. Till next time, guys, as always, happy dueling. If you like that video, why not check out our other videos available? We've got more deck profiles, pack openings, and of course, duels. And don't forget to click on the most important button of all, that subscribe button, right in the bottom left-hand corner.